Hi, this is Kieran from Shared Object. In this tutorial, I want to show you how you can manage your Schenkel tournament using SoftPeelR. In a Schenkel tournament, a team gets 2 points if it wins its match in a round, and 1 point for a draw. In the ranking system, if two teams have the same number of points, it's the team with the most ends that gets ranked higher. And if the two teams have the same number of points and the same number of ends, it's the team with the most stones that gets ranked higher. The example we're going to use is called the Geneva Cup, and it has 24 teams participating in it. So we're going to divide the teams into 3 groups, A, B, and C, each group containing 8 teams. And we're going to use the same groups for 3 rounds of the tournament. After round 3, we're going to get rid of groups A, B, and C and create new groups based on the rankings of teams. Group 1 to 8 will contain the 8 best ranked teams. Group 9 to 16 will contain the middle ranked teams. And group 17 to 24 will contain the worst ranked teams. Our final round of the tournament has a single group for which the best 8 ranked teams qualify. So let's go to SoftPeelR and see how we can configure and manage this tournament. So here we are on the SoftPeelR homepage. To create your tournament, you first need to sign in, so you can click here. So here we are on the sign-in page. If you don't already have an account, you can follow this link. Otherwise, just type your username and password. And click here. So this brings us back to the main page of SoftPeelR, and we can now actually create the tournament. Just click on this button. And this gives us our Create Tournament form, which we can fill out with the details. Now, of the data I filled out, please note that I use Schenkel as the option for the mode of the tournament, because it is a Schenkel. And Schenkel tournaments use the ranking system points, ends, stones, as I mentioned previously. So now we can go ahead and save. So here we are at the homepage of the tournament. Now, before proceeding, for example, for registering teams, there are some details of the tournament that still have to be specified. To do this, I go up here and I do Edit Details. And on this page, there are 2 things that I want to do. I want to give some match rules. In particularly, I want to tell the system how many ends there are in the match. And I want to add some sheets to the tournament so that when the system generates matches, it will assign them to different sheets. So let's start with the match rules. So the only thing I'm going to specify here, in fact, are the number of ends per match. It's a Schenkel tournament, so let's say there are 8 ends. Schenkel tournaments usually don't have extra ends in the match because we allow for draws, so I leave this as no. LSDs are for elite tournaments, so I won't use those here. So I'll save directly. And now I can create some sheets. So I just do New Sheet and give it a name. And I'll create 3 more. And there we are, back to Geneva Cup. So now we have 4 sheets, and we are now ready to start entering teams. This is my team page where I enter the teams. So let me create 1 team. So let me create team Geneva. I'll add a player. I'll add 3 team members. And let's say this is player 2, player 3, and player 4. And player 4 is also Skip. So now I can save this team. And there we have our first team. Now in our tournament we have a total of 24 teams. So I'll just add the 23 teams very quickly. And there we go, 24 teams. Now we can start entering matches for the tournament. So let's start by creating round 1. Go here and add a round. This brings us to this page. So we said we have 3 groups, so let's add them. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. Let's change the names. And the dates and times of matches. It's Friday, say at 12 o'clock. Now we can start assigning teams to groups. This is just done by dragging a team and dropping it into the correct group. So we've assigned our teams to groups. So let's go to the round page. Now that the round has been created with its groups, we can create the matches. Let's do that with this button here. Now, as you can see, SoftPeelR has proposed a grid of matches for us. Now, you may want to change this grid. Perhaps as a tournament organizer, you have already made the draw for the tournament. That's no problem. Or you can just use the menu to change the composition of the teams. Or perhaps you want to change the sheet. No problem either. But in any case, once you're happy with the draw for round one, go ahead and save your matches. So now our list of matches have been created for round one. And if we go to the round one page, and on the round page, we can see the matches for each group along with the ranking. So the tournament is now configured and we can start playing matches, in fact. So let's go to round one. And let's say that the Group A matches have begun. We can start entering scores. So let's add an end. And let's say that North Hardy scores 4 stones in the first end. Now what you see here is the main web interface. If you are using SoftPeelR on a tablet or on an iPhone or on an Android phone, then you will see the following interface. Now this interface is probably more convenient for entering match scores. To enter a score, all I have to do is drag and drop the scorecard over the end, for example. So let's say now that all matches in round one for Group A have been played, and we have where we can already create round two and the matches in Group A of round two. So let's do that. And note the ranking for round one in Group A. North Hardy and East Trenton should play each other in round two since they are ranked highest. Similarly, South Zachary should play against Alfra de Berg, etc., etc., because in Schenkel tournaments, the matches are based on the rankings. So let's create the new round. So this is the form that we've seen earlier when creating round one, but this time we're going to use the group options. And in round two, we have the same groups. So we use the first option, which is already selected, and we create groups. And notice how the group teams are automatically put into the correct groups. So let's go to the new round page. Now we can create the group matches in Group A. So these are the matches that SoftPeelR proposes to us based on the rankings of these teams in Group A. Also, it chooses sheets based on an algorithm where it tries to ensure that a team that has played on a sheet will play on a different sheet in the next match. So we are ready to save. So here we have our matches for round two. And note that North Hardy and East Trenton will play against each other, since these are the two teams that are ranked highest. Similarly, South Zachary is going to play Alfred de Berg. etc. So we can go ahead and play these matches. Now here we are back in round 1. Now the Group B matches have finished. So when that happens, we can go to round 2 and create the Group B matches. And there are the matches. We will do the same thing for Group C. And once we have completed round 2, we're going to create round 3 in exactly the same way. We're going to use the same groups, A, B, and C, and we create our matches group by group. So here we are later in the tournament. Now suppose 3 rounds have been played. Let's go to the ranking. We see we have a ranking by group for each round, and we have a general ranking where we see all teams. Now the overall ranking contains all teams of the tournament. And as we said for round 4, we're going to create new groups based on the rankings. So let's do that. Again, we add a round. This time in our options, we're going to do something else. We're going to select the second option, create groups based on tournament rankings with, say, 3 groups and 8 teams per group. Now this creates our 3 groups based on the rankings. Let's perhaps change the dates of the matches. Okay, and let's go to round 4. And let's create all matches. So here are the matches ready to play. Now when round 4 is complete, we can use the same procedure to create round 5. Though for round 5 we said that there is a single group of 8, only the top 8 teams qualify. Now let's say that for round 5 that we have a blocked final, which means that the ranking is blocked until position 2. Okay. And we can also create the matches from here, in fact. So let's do that. So here are the matches. Notice Alfred de Berg and Nort Jarvis are the top 2 teams, they're the finalists, in fact. Let's play the matches. There we go. Now here on the right hand side is our final classification. Notice that since we blocked the final, Alfred de Berg, even though theoretically it's classified 3rd, it's still classified 2nd because we blocked the rankings. We can also see our overall rankings here, our final rankings for the tournament. There you go. That was the Geneva Cup. Thank you for watching. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you.